Enhanced power supply. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo reiterates commitment to indivisibility of Nigeria. Plus, correspondence examines issues, misconceptions, and proper management of asthma as the world marks World Asthma Day. Hello, good evening, and thanks for joining us on Channel 12 News tonight. My name is Idarisit Adeokuta. The Federal Executive Council has approved over $1.5 billion as well as 3.1 billion naira for the execution of various contracts aimed at upgrading the nation's power infrastructure for effective service delivery to customers. The Minister of Power, Saleh Maman, announced this while briefing journalists after the council's meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. State House correspondent Adam Musambo.
This is the 44th meeting of the Federal Executive Council to be held virtually in the new normal and 15th for the year 2021. Efforts at enhancing power supply in Nigeria for sustainable socio-economic development dominate discussions. The Minister of Power, Saleh Maman, presented 6 memoranda for consideration by council members.
The first one is the award of the contract for design, manufacturing, and supply of critical spare parts for chromosomes grapes 330 kV, 132 kV, and 33 kV circuit breakers in the sum of 298,339,887 naira. And the second one is the award of the contract for the procurement of 50 sets of 400 AH battery banks, 30 to 50 volts, and 30 number of 110 volts battery chargers for the substation used by the TCM in the sum of 644,805,953 naira 10 kobo.
Approval has also been granted for the procurement of 50 sets of 132 kV isolators for the Transmission Company of Nigeria at 53.9 million naira, as well as $840,650.
And the fourth one is the award of the contract for the design, manufacturing, and the supply of 360/66 MVA 132 kV power transformers with accessories, and 15 number of 500 kV transformers, 33.415 kV earthing transformers for the TCN in the sum of 1,296,953,044 naira 55 kobo.
The Ministry of Power has also been given the go-ahead to award contract for the design, supply, and installation of optical ground wire, as well as universal optical transportation network system for some critical transmission lines at 668.8 million naira and $6.5 million. Similarly, the council approved an upward review of the contract sum for the design, manufacture, supply, installation, and commissioning of 132/33 power transformer at Ogba Transmission Substation in Lagos in the sum of 48.3 million naira and over $648,000.
All this procurement is geared towards upgrade of the transmission system to the national grid, so that we are going to have a sufficient power supply to the nation.
The Minister of Power, Saleh Maman, used the opportunity to reaffirm the commitment of the federal government towards closing the metering gap in the nation's electricity supply industry. Already, he said, 1 million out of the 4 million meters to be supplied under the meter asset provider have been deployed, aimed at stopping estimated billing in Nigeria. From the State House, Adam Musambo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, The Senate is considering a proposed law that seeks to establish the Institute of Bitumen Management. The bill, sponsored by Senator Nicholas, has passed second reading and is expected to expand Nigeria's source of revenue through bitumen exploration and to produce the desired manpower to drive the sector. The Federal Capital Territory College of Nursing and Midwifery Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Sani Musa, also passed second reading. It seeks to give legal backing to the already existing college. Meanwhile, the Senate, through a motion by Senator Emmanuel Biwacha, has urged the Acting Inspector General of Police, the Police Service Commission, and the National Judicial Council to investigate alleged unlawful detention of 14 indigents of Taraba South Senatorial District by the State Commissioner of Police. And moving on, the House of Representatives has adopted a resolution urging the National Population Commission to suspend the planned census exercise due to security concerns. The issue raised on the matters of urgent public importance pointed to the challenge of insecurity in most parts of the country, which has led to displacement of persons to distant locations, some as far as neighboring countries. The House notes that conducting a census amounts to placing staff on the path of danger, as their lives would also be at risk due to kidnapping and banditry. And moving to Lagos State, the Lagos State House of Assembly has suspended 3 local government council chairmen over alleged disregard for state local government guidelines. Musa Toliat reports that their suspension was unanimously approved by members of the floor of the Assembly.
The suspended chairmen are Suleiman Jalili, Alimosha Local Government Area, Tajuddin Ajide, Surulere Local Government Area, and Ogidan Olaitan of Lekki Local Council Development Area. The suspension stemmed from complaints from Honorable Bisi Yusuf from Alimosha Constituency 1 and some lawmakers on abuse of office and utter disregard to local government guidelines. Honorable Yusuf therefore urged his colleagues to suspend the chairman pending the outcome of investigations and to serve as deterrents to others.
Mr. Ogidan, the chairman of Lekki LCDA, could not even interpret the MOU as a lawyer and or deliberately misinterpreted the MOU to suit his own purpose. We also discovered that the procurement law passed by this honorable house were not complied with.
The Speaker, Lagos House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, who upheld the suspension of the 3 local council chairmen, noted that the House cannot continue to watch while council chairmen flout the laws they are supposed to uphold.
Fridays election will be coming up. A new set of council chairmen will be coming in. And I think creating precedents will be something dangerous for local government administration in Lagos State if we fail to act appropriately. But I think we just need to do something before it gets out of hand. That the 3 of them that I've mentioned should be suspended indefinitely till further notice. So all in support, say aye. Aye. Those against nay, the ayes have it.
The Speaker directed the Clerk of the House to inform Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in writing about the decision of the House of Assembly. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Thank you, Musa, for that report. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo says the unity of Nigeria is sacrosanct and cannot be undermined by any group of people, despite the challenges facing it. Chief Obasanjo said this when he granted audience to TIV Professional Group at his residence in Abeokuta, the state capital. Akim Jimo's report is hereby presented.
The former president, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, advised Nigerians to collaborate with security agencies in the country to overcome the various security threats confronting the nation and also suggest solutions. The former president, who acknowledged that there is unity in the nation's diversity, called for an all-inclusive society where all differences are amicably resolved.
When you said Nigeria belongs to a particular group, how dare you say that? How do you want other Nigerians to feel? Which means that the other Nigerians are slaves. Nobody about disintegration. Nobody talk about possession. Nobody talk about breakup.
The group, led by Professor Zakaris Angab Gundu, extolled the leadership qualities of the former Nigerian leader, both within and outside the country, and expressed optimism of a better Nigeria.
We're going back home to tell our people regarding the way forward. They should be more patient. They should wait for the consultations that are ongoing. I believe there's hope because we think that they even have more to benefit from a united Nigeria.
The group prayed for the continued peace in the nation and charged proponents of the vision of the country to desist from such acts as it is against the growth and development of the nation.
And moving on, as the international community marked 2021 World Asthma Day, there is a reassurance that with proper management, care and conscious avoidance of triggers, asthmatic patients can live normal life and enjoy longevity. This is on the front burner as the World Health Organization raises awareness on uncovering asthma misconception.
It's like a respiratory disease. When it happens to a person, you see that the person will be having difficulties in breathing.
Asthma is a communicable disease.
It is widely believed that asthma is an infectious childhood disease that limits a sufferer's physical activities and can only be controlled by high-dose steroids. These and other misconceptions necessitated the 2021 World Asthma Day theme, which calls to action the need to address the myths.
Asthma is one of the mildest chronic conditions that you can have. The only problem is that patients tend to suffer a lot without treatment. But with treatment, you find out that the quality of life is virtually the same with any other person.
Asthma is said to be a chronic disease which is characterized by recurrent attacks of breathlessness and wheezing and occurs in people of all ages.
A lot of the time it is inherited, familial, but there are times you may not find any familial linkages to it. Sometimes you may have the tendency for asthma, but for one reason or the other, it never manifested in the older generation.
While there is no known way to prevent asthma, the triggers that cause the inflammation and airway constriction can vary from person to person, so understanding your trigger is essential to managing asthma.
Dust, sometimes it's cold, sometimes even perfume, fried foods and things like that. So you avoid the things that you already know can trigger asthma. You take your medications.
Records show that it currently affects about 285 million people across the globe. In Uyo, Ifoma Ahuji, NTA News.
And talking agriculture, in view of the call for the diversification of the country's economy with special attention to the agricultural sector, Ebonyi State government is currently profiling farmers to receive inputs and other support for bumper harvest this year. Chinaza John reports on these and other efforts made by government at all levels to make farming more attractive in the state.
Due to increased awareness on the opportunities inherent in agriculture, farming has been taken to another level in Ebonyi State as more households now engage in it. Once the rainy season sets in, the first thing that comes to mind for many is preparation for farming. This is because the state is largely dependent on the ecosystem for survival of most crops like rice, yam and cassava, which it is known for. To achieve bumper harvest as well as make it more attractive, profiling of farmers for access to inputs and different loans and grants made available by the federal government is ongoing.
The state government is collaborating with the federal government, especially the CBN, on profiling farmers who will benefit from the CBN 5-star cassava farmers, CBN 5-star rice farmers, CBN Anko borrowers, CBN CAS loan. And we have acquired lands from different local government areas in readiness for that purpose.
These efforts targeted at boosting agriculture is to increase farm yield in line with global best practice.
A very critical input into agricultural production is fertilizer. And as far as fertilizer is concerned, we are ready.
And in related developments, in fulfillment of Governor Udom administration of ensuring food sufficiency and security, the Akwa Ibom State government has flagged off distribution of farm inputs to public schools across the state. Otibe Achibong reports that the distribution, which started in Ikotepene Senatorial District, had principals of different public schools within the Senatorial District and some agricultural science teachers in attendance.
As one of the important sectors of the nation's economy, agriculture has continued to receive a boost in the state. This is evident through the numerous empowerment programs put together for the farmers by the Akwa Ibom State government through the State Ministry of Agriculture. Recently, the state government announced the resuscitation of farming in public schools, and to match its words with action, the Ministry of Agriculture flagged off the distribution of cassava cuttings and maize seeds to public schools in Ikot-Ekpene Senatorial District.
I officially flagged off this distribution in the name of God the Father, Amen. And of God the Son, Amen. And of God the Holy Spirit.
Amen. The Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Gloria Edet, during the flag-off, insisted that the planting of this farm input should commence immediately, as this would help the schools generate income. She warned against delay, as inspection of the schools' farms will be conducted soon to ascertain the level of work done.
If you cultivate this, it will also help your school. As a ministry, we are not saying when you harvest, bring the cassava to us, or when you harvest, bring the maize to us. No, you can sell the maize and buy some things in your school. You can sell the cassava and get revenue and buy things in the school. We are not saying bring back to us. No, we are only supporting you.
Some schools' principals lauded these efforts and promised to make good use of the farm inputs, as according to them, farmlands have already been cleared and ready for planting.
With this encouragement, we are going to do our best to make sure that we encourage agriculture in a different school.
After planting this cassava stem and the maize as you have directed, in fact, it shall surely be of a great profit, not at a loss.
I should bless the executive governor of the state for introducing this program. Because our children have already forgotten about farming. So what he has brought is very interesting, and for that he deserves blessing and honor.
And you're still on to Channel 12 News, more news after the break. Please stay with us.
Whatever your size, we got you. With our Buy Right chat, you can get the best mattress that goes with your body weight. Don't just buy a mattress, buy a Vitafoam mattress.
The name of the baby is Stella.
Vitafoam, the fine art of living.
Ajaye go gym. You won't go shake your body. Instead, they make it calm down. If the farm say you sabi, you want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you not to pass your power. You want to show yourself, oh. Who can have this matter?
Whatever your size, find it with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned. The Nigerian Army has reacted to the misleading reports on the social media alleging that the serving soldier, Lance Corporal Adamu Galadima, was involved in an alleged case of kidnap and murder of a child after collecting the sum of 5 million as ransom. A statement by the Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Mohammed Yerima says contrary to the claim, Corporal Adamu Galadima was dismissed from the Nigerian Army in 2013 after a general court-martial in Kaduna found him guilty. His last unit was 2 provost groups where he was involved in a case of attempted murder, leading to his arrest and prosecution before the General Court-Martial in Kaduna. Brigadier General Yarima stressed that Adamu Galadima was not a personnel of the Nigerian Army as at April 2021 when he committed the alleged crime. And now on sports updates, let's join Kenny Mabodike for updates from the world of sports.
Tennis, where over 300 players are competing in the 14th edition of the ASO National Championship holding in Abuja. The tournament, which is drawn into various categories, is aimed at discovering budding talents who will be nurtured to represent Nigeria in both national and international events.
The competition really is a good one, and I believe with this it will expose players more.
In a bid to expand sports on the plateau, the game of archery has been introduced with the state chapter of Nigeria Archery Federation promoting the cause. A Cameron Canon Ladoja in Jos reports that the federation hopes to build a base of archers for future engagement.
Our people on the plateau traditionally are hunters and farmers as well. So looking at the background to which this game is coming from, I think our people here on the plateau will do better.
And in football, the Ataturk Olympic Stadium in Istanbul, Turkey is expected to be 1/3 full with about 25,000 spectators able to attend the final of UEFA Champions League come May 29 amid the COVID-19 pandemic, as plans are being drawn by UEFA and local authorities to allocate 4,000 tickets each to both clubs. However, given the COVID-19 pandemic, traveling fans will have to comply with border entry restrictions upon arrival in Turkey and may also need to show proof of vaccine or a negative COVID-19 test. With sports update, Kenan Ima Abodike, NTA News.
And away from sports, the final burial of elder sister Janet Oluremi Ajoke Onodani Shobayo, who died last month at the age of 87, will commence on Thursday, May the 6th, with a Christian wake keep at her residence, number 2, Oniyo, Arokoje area, Obantoko, Abeokuta, from 4 p.m. In a statement signed by one of the deceased children and chief accountant, NTA Abeokuta, Kehinde Onoda, funeral service will follow on Friday, May the 7th at Christ Gospel Witness Church, 13/14 Church Street, Itori, Abeokuta at 11 in the morning. Interment will thereafter follow at the church cemetery at Opako, Adipe, Abeokuta. To say me had to so rest in peace. And that wraps up Channel 12 News. Thank you for watching. I'm Darasit. I did do.